Well, I want to give you a brief example of an improvement in the healthcare industry worldwide, but especially now with a focus on the Netherlands. If you think about elderly care in the Netherlands, then several decades ago you had a nurse who was taking care of several elderly people. She, it was often a she, but it could also be a he, knew this person's name, had built a personal relationship, knew which treatments they needed, took time for them, and took care of them. Suddenly, the government said, well, we need everything to be a lot more efficient. From now on, no more individual nurse for several elderly people. From now on, we're going to standardize the process, and nurses can basically go to about anybody, and at the beginning of each day we give someone a timesheet and we tell them, well, at 8 o'clock you go to Barbara and you give her a shot of insulin. Then you take 5 minutes for that. Then you drive to Robert, and Robert needs a change of Band-Aid, so you take care of that. You can spend about 6 minutes and a half for that, and so you continue. What's the result of this process? So, continuing with my healthcare, elderly care example. It's organized in such a way that it's very efficient, but individual nurses take care of a whole bunch of people, and this is what happened. Namely, that people, the clients, the elderly people, were not feeling respected and were not being helped. I mean, just imagine, a nurse comes to your home and he says, I have about 4 minutes to give you a shot. And then you say, yes, but actually yesterday I fell out of bed and I have bleeding in my leg. Could you maybe look at that? And you say, no, I have no time for that, but I'll, when I go back to central offices, I'll type an email to my colleague and he or she will take care of your leg tomorrow. Yeah. Sorry, gotta go, hop, up to the next one. Yeah. So what happened is, elderly people were not being helped, and also the nurses, the caregivers, started to dislike their job. Because many of them got into the caring profession for the sole purpose of really helping people, of building a relationship and of knowing, knowing their lives and being able to do something good for them. And now suddenly it just becomes very impersonal, quick, efficient, but strong dislike. Now, while this was happening, luckily in the Netherlands there were some people who said, this cannot be the way we do elderly care. And Jos de Blok created Buurtzorg, which was first an organization of about, I think, 10 or 11 people saying, we're going to do it the old way again. We're going to assign just a few people in the care of one particular nurse, and they will be responsible of making those people independent of us, or of actually creating a nice resourceful system around them so that they're well taken care of. So they go home, they go to the person, they drink coffee with them, they discuss how they can help their needs, and by doing it the old-fashioned way, they were actually able to prevent certain problems from happening. Because when you're interacting with an elderly person, you may find out that, for example, he or she has no children, has nobody to take care of them. So then you say, what's going to happen if they're in trouble? They have no family members to call. Maybe they have friends who can help them, or maybe their neighbors can help them. And before you know it, Buurtzorg was actually setting up small systems around each elderly person, including themselves, which could really take care of their health and well-being, which also resulted in sometimes avoiding serious injury or serious disease. And the Dutch government also felt it, because there was a whole reduction, I think, in insurance premiums and other beneficial effects. And the funny thing is, or the interesting thing is, that there was a massive dropout of nurses and caregivers in other organizations who actually told themselves, I don't want to do it the standardized way. I want to do it the old-fashioned way again, because that is giving care to people. And just a side, going back to the old ways doesn't mean that we do something bad. It actually means that the new way that we sometimes use in business is not an improvement. And if the new way and the new change is not an improvement, it's smart to go back to what is really an improvement. And Buurtzorg did that, using modern technology. That was modern, that was new, but using a very human, humane interaction with their people. Now in the next clip, we'll look at a historical perspective.